Right, by now you'll have been explained about the MSPSL routine. We're going to look at some simple junctions, turning left and turning right, major road into minor road, and you'll see how we put that MSPSL routine into practice. The first thing we need to do is to identify where the junction is, and we can normally do that by looking for any gaps in the buildings or gaps in the curb line. Once we've identified where the turning is, in this case I'm going to make a left turn just after the parked vehicles. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is to check the centre mirror and the left mirror. I can see now that it's safe to put the signal on, which I'm doing in good time. I'm starting to reduce the speed now down to roughly about 10 miles an hour, which is suitable for this type of corner. I'm now selecting second gear, making sure the clutch comes back up, and I'm positioning just left, just near the curb, following the curb round into the new road. Once I get into the new road, I'm checking the centre mirror and the right mirror before I increase the speed. That's essential to make sure there's no one overtaking. If that were the case, then you'd hold back and let the vehicle overtake before increasing your speed. So now we're going to make a right turn, and we're going to take the second road on the right, which is just after the parked vehicles. So first thing to do here is to check the centre mirror and the right mirror. I can see there's nothing overtaking, so it's safe to put the signal on. I'm already travelling at a relatively slow speed because of the speed bumps. Position is just left of the centre line. I'm gauging just where the centre of the road is. I'm slowing down to about 10 miles an hour. I can see it's clear ahead, so I want to line the front of the car roughly up with the centre of the line that I'm turning into, and I can start to turn in now. Just before I do, I'm going to check into the junction for any pedestrians that might be crossing, or any parked vehicles, anything that might prevent us from going into the corner. Again, once you get round the corner, check the centre mirror and the right mirror before increasing the speed. So now I'm going to take the next road on the right again. I can see where it is, where the red car's coming out. So I'll check the centre mirror, the right mirror. I can see it's safe to put the signal on, which I'm doing in good time. The vehicle's parked a little bit awkward for this one, so I have to position slightly over the centre line. I can see it's clear ahead, so I'm now going to line the front of the car up with the centre line. I'm going to stop now, wait for the oncoming traffic, because this vehicle has a priority. So because I've stopped, I've selected first gear. Okay, so I'm looking into the sidewalk for any pedestrians or any parked vehicles. I can see it's safe to move now into the junction. Again, checking the centre mirror and the right mirror before increasing the speed. So I'm going to take the next road on the right where that white car's just come round the corner. So this one's a little bit hidden, but I know where it is. I can see the other vehicle turning in. I'm checking the centre mirror, the right mirror, signalling in good time. And my position is already fine, it's just left of the centre, so I can look ahead for oncoming traffic. That's just that one vehicle, so I'm going to stop with the front of the car opposite the centre line and select first gear again, reapplying the signal because it went off. Looking into the junction, I can see that that's clear. I'm now starting to turn in. And again, checking the centre and the right mirror. You'll need to practice this quite a lot with your instructor to become accustomed to using the routine. Speed is of the essence. Make sure your speed's under control. That gives you time to complete the rest of the procedure safely. In this case, I'm turning left at the end of the road, so checking the centre and left mirror. Again, it's the same procedure for turning left at the end of the road. Slightly more complicated, a little bit more to look for, giving priority to the traffic on the main road. So we're going to look at that on the next lesson anyway. You can see it's safe now for me to proceed. And again, once I come into the new road, I'm going to check the centre mirror and the right mirror. Now, whilst you're practicing this, you're going to come across other hazards. Your instructor will guide you on these, so make sure you deal with them safely. In this case, I can see it's quite narrow where the van's parked, and I can see a bus coming towards me. He's now pulling at the bus stop, so it's safe for me to move out. But before I do, I'm always going to check the centre and the right mirror, because I'm moving out into that direction. Taking it nice and slow, and I'm looking out for any pedestrians that might be crossing at the back of the bus. Somebody might go off the bus, or somebody might be running for it. You see, it's safe to proceed. Keep in mind the pedestrian crossing as well for the pedestrian activity there. The road's quite narrow, so I'm keeping the speed fairly low, roughly about 20 miles an hour. I would be able to stop safely in that at that speed if something unexpected happened. So the road's just getting a little bit wider now, so it's safe for me to increase the speed. Before I do, I'm checking the mirrors, centre and right again as normal for increasing the speed. Just slowing down a little bit for this little island here because it's a little bit bumpy as we go across. Same with the next one just round the bend. So now I'm going to make a left turn. I can see where the turning is just by the island, so I'm checking the centre mirror, the left mirror, signalling down for left in good time. And I can, my position's just about a metre from the curb, normal road position. I'm already in second gear, so I'm just easing off now to about 10 miles an hour, which is suitable for the junction, and following the curb round. And again, checking the centre and right mirror before increasing the speed. Keeping the speed nice and low on these narrow roads around the estate here. Looking out for any activity with children in particular, and also any big vehicles like buses, because we're on a bus route at the minute. I can see it's safe to continue. I'm just checking my centre and right mirror before I move out for this vehicle here. So the emphasis of the lesson we're doing today is on turning left and right into side roads, but we're also looking at these other issues. You can't avoid these when you're on the road, and you have to be able to deal with them. So your instructor will advise you on this as you're doing your lesson. Lots of mirror checking as we're driving along. Centre and right when we're moving out, centre and left when we're moving back in again. So because I'm going downhill now, in order to control the speed, I'm checking the centre, just gently braking to control the speed so I don't run away too fast on the hill. And now I'm going to take the second road on the right. The first one is just coming up by the telegraph pole. So I'm going to delay the signal a little bit on this one until I get past that so there's no confusion. So I'm checking my centre mirror and my right mirror now. I can see where the next junction is, which is just down by the where the silver car's coming out. So centre mirror, right mirror again, signalling up for right in good time. I'm going to delay the position until I get past this parked vehicle on the right. And now I'm going to reposition just left of the centre line. I'm slowing down, selecting second gear, lifting the clutch up. I can see it's clear ahead. So I'm lining my front of my car up with the centre line again before turning in. Checking the centre and right mirror again before increasing the speed. So I'm just going to pull up and park on the left now. So that's how we deal with turning left and turning right into side roads. Make sure you get plenty of practice and don't move on to the next step until you feel comfortable at practice at doing this.